Righty ho. I'm a bit late, but let's see. Hello, Future Cityscape. How you doing? Slight change of plans today, just because of the amount of time I have on hand. We are gonna just muck around in this wee horror game for a little while. Happy work is over. Nice. That's always a nice feeling. Still got some stuff ahead of me today, but yep. Play some chillers art. I never actually managed to finish this one. I wrote a bit of a think piece on the game's design on my website. It must have been over a year ago or something. Even though I wasn't actually able to finish it because it's one of those you play it and it's a permadeath. It's a permadeath kind of game. We'll just have a go. We'll see. I doubt I'll be able to get very far at all. Unless the game, of course, itself crashes, like it appears to be doing now. There we go. Okay. Chillers. One thing I don't like about Chillers art games is they're just so unstable. You're just lucky that if they work at all. Just introduced to Chillers art stuff about a month ago. Oh, nice. They're sort of they feel like a different little niche. They're sort of alongside Puppet Combo, I suppose. Just Chillers art stuff isn't quite as polished, sadly, but can still be quite scary. This is it. This is the place. Got to get them back. One of the Japanese streamers I watched had a cameo appearance and plays them all. Was kind of surprised. Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting how YouTubers and streaming personalities often wind their way into these games as other points of reference, which I guess we were talking about the other day, weren't we? But there it doesn't quite come off so badly. At least I don't think it does. Hang on, just get my old stream manager up here. Here we go. Okay. But yeah, it's provided that the person isn't necessarily indulging the YouTube personality too much, it can be quite cool to see just someone pop up in a game and just happen to accidentally get killed, even though just sort of a hapless little cameo of the YouTuber getting dismembered or something. I always liked the opening to this game. I honestly thought 20 or 30 cameos as on CDs you could find as collectibles was kind of cute. Oh, that is cute actually. That's cool. Where's my stream manager not working? Technical difficulties. My favorite. All right. So one of my favorite things about this game was actually the exterior, just the really profound, biting cold of the environment. It feels really quite a natural cold. Let's forget where to enter. Here we go. Okay. God, it's not running very well, is it? And my internet's cutting out. Goodness me. Have you ever read the original story? I've read. If by original story of the Yuki Onna, do you mean? I've read a translation of which is Lefcadio O'Hearn's story, an ice fragment. I read that original story, but I'm not sure. Is that the original that you mean? This is the one where the man sees this woman and the woman swears to him not to say anything about their meeting. Um, is that the one that you're thinking of? And then they sort of meet later marry happily. But then he sort of mentions offhandedly, "Oh, there was this. It's been years and years. Oh, it was crazy. This event that happened. I saw this. I saw my friend. He got frozen to death in front of me. It was really terrifying." And then she's like, "Ah, that was me, you fool. That was me who froze your friend to death. Now, if it wasn't for the fact that we had all these children together, I definitely would have just murdered you." Which, yeah, I found interesting, to say the least. This looks like it'll be very cool and at least a little unpleasant. Emphasis on the cool and probably the unpleasant as well. This is definitely a jump scare. It's a jump scary kind of game. And to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm in the mood for that kind of experience, but that's sort of all I got the time for today. So we'll jump into it. So I remember the first time we met. You were asleep in the snow, and I was so shocked. I thought my heart would stop. I remember when you woke up, the first thing that came out of your mouth was, "Where's Sato?" How you would put others before you was very memorable. I feel bad for what happened to Sato after that, but I'm happy you were unharmed. What does it say down the bottom? You cannot read this again in this playthrough. Okay. So yeah, it's what the really big painful thing about this game is that if you die, you have to restart the whole damn thing all over again. And I know, I guess we were just doing that with Silent Hill 4, but felt slightly different there because that was self imposed. And I apologize. These games do genuinely make me quite jumpy. And I'm supposed to be a veteran, but they still happen to get me. So if I do happen to like wiggle the mouse around like that, that's probably an indication that this damn witch ghost lady got me. And how do we scroll through our items again? Okay, so we've got like 4 inventory slots. How do we check that? Okay, secures, drop, click to pick up. It's really just a process of discovery here, and of waiting to get scared. Yellow lever. Okay, and some bars. Now there's a visual indicator. I think that she's getting close. I think the edges of the screen sort of start to freeze up. Yeah, we'll see. If the jump scares are too loud as well, I'll turn them down because I don't want the stream to be non-accommodating. I'm not exactly sure what's happening here. How do we get in? Okay, you just click on them to hop in. Now what these games are very good at doing is drawing out this initial phase. I can't remember if it's just a simple phasmophobia type. There's a timer kind of thing, but yeah, I can't remember when she spawns, but I'm pretty sure it's random. It'll be interesting. So far, thank you. I only just had breakfast. Oh, no, breakfast is something to report. Breakfast is very important. There's something really weird going on with the textures, isn't there? I don't think they're supposed to be doing this. I don't remember them doing this in my original playthrough. Rust removal. God, there's so much to remember. What if I take the rust removal out? Okay, so we clean the key with the rust removal, right? Being lazy and avoiding cooking dinner. Is this something you're planning to have? It's stuck. Nope. delaying the choice of even picking dinner. I can relate to that. It's like, I'll do it in a minute. Okay, so really is just a case of working your way through this really large bathhouse. I did always wonder, yeah, why the protagonists of these games just insist on coming during the night, bringing no backup. He didn't even bring a torch with him. He had to find that. Locked behind. What is this? Like this wiggling? That's not right. Like I don't think I'm supposed to be wiggling. Like I said, I was going to shake the mouse if I got jump scared, but this is just absurd. Future Cityscape. Have you played? Have you played any of the chillers out, or you just watched them? Because this was the first one I got. I think just watched a few. Yeah, there's something really weird going on with the textures. This is what I was saying about chillers art games being a bit buggy. But like in some sense, it adds to the really weird nature of the thing. But it's very very weird and decrepit. But it's also slightly motion sickness inducing if you look at it for too long. Um, how are you? The cold winter has arrived. It's been snowing every day recently. It has already piled up to the knee level. I remember you saying I was as white as snow. I want to meet you very soon. So, like every other survival horror game, it's basically a case of finding fragments of information and trying to piece together what you know from those individual fragments. Here's a question for the audience. Has anyone been reading anything interesting recently? I've just been carrying on reading some some medieval works. So there she is, very loud. She obviously is not a fan of medieval literature. Is there anything out here? Like, is that an indication that she stopped chasing me? I've forgotten. Like, when she just stopped screaming. Like, did she lose me? Wretchedly loud. What's this? Bucket. Still don't know what I have to use the key on. Made me laugh so hard. That was not what I was expecting. In a good way or a bad way? Like the jump scare, it came out of nowhere sort of thing? What's this? Traditional doll. Creepy. Yeah, so there was a solidly loud jump scare. If they are too loud, do let me know. Like I want the viewing experience to be comfortable. Because they do come out of nowhere in this game. Like sort of no, there's not a noise I would expect. Yeah, it's really weird grinding sound. There's nowhere to hide in here. I don't know where I'm supposed to use any of this stuff. Onsen water. Oh, can I fill the bucket? Yes. Volume is pretty good. Okay, cool. Yeah. Just yeah. If it does get too loud, let me know. Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? I thought for a split second that was just like her standing there waiting for me, but I don't know if she stands and waits. I think she just screams and runs. It's not a subtle kind of scare, is it? And really, it's that initial when she spots you. See, when she spots you. Damn, I dropped the torch as well. That got me. Crap. Sorry, excuse me. Go back for my torch. I'm gonna get killed. Pick my torch back up. Hi, Clara. Ah, she's got like dragon breath. Can I hide in here? Okay. So yeah, I mean the problem I had with this game, that was a good scare. The problem I had with this game was probably the permadeath stuff, and the fact that yeah you can only hold like a couple of items at a time, and the fact that there's no accessible map. It really does make it like this ultra hardcore survival horror thing. Also, there's I think there's only 3 or 4 healing items in the whole game that obviously aren't reusable, um, which makes things very difficult. It can't be very long. You would be surprised. I played it for more than an hour, one playthrough, and I got pretty close to finishing it, but she killed me towards the end. An hour is a long time to to play a game like this uh, and expect to survive. To be honest, like I booted this up knowing that I don't think I'll be able to finish it or anything close to that. Um, but we'll have some fun. You'll see me wiggle the cursor around as my brain switches from analysis mode to oh crap, it's time to run mode. I don't think there's any like. Can I look at the um, inventory is tab? Okay. Anything else I'm missing? So what does our inventory look like? So yeah, we can see we got a health condition, so we're okay at the moment. Feel like it's almost a dream that you like me. Cannot wait for the day I can be with you. Sounds like some siren missions, 45 minutes just to get bopped at the end. Yeah, honestly, the most frustrating part of that game. I could like I love siren obviously, but it's God, it's relentless when you sort of meticulously pick your way through one of those stealth missions, right? And then right at the very end, you get headshot by a sniper shibito or something because you didn't wait the extra like second required for him to turn around. Um, I've never encountered a game that's quite so scary, but also um, almost doesn't quite seem to function. On a fair level. It still manages to maintain this really wretched atmosphere, which is what always impressed me most about it when I was actively playing through it. Um, yeah, I always really admired that about Siren. One of the few horror games I cannot play. I've watched so many analyses and playthroughs of it, but I boot it up and just can't. Is there a particular like is that difficulty reasons or sort of because it is? I found it a legitimately like quite creepy and confronting game. Like I remember the first time I played it, the sight jacking feature and being able to hear their breathing really loudly because as you do you play it in the dark with the volume turned right up and you can just hear this sort of really inhuman like wheezing and then rasping and that kind of thing. Um, yeah, it's I found it really effective that first playthrough. It's a very I think I touched on that in my video, but it's a really effectively Lovecraftian game, even though there's at no point does it sort of state that influence like a lot of Lovecraftian games do. Right? There's no mention of that. Yeah, it weaves it in naturally, just with the themes rather than being like ooh tentacles. Anyway, I feel like it's almost a dream that you like me. I cannot wait for the day I can be with you. I have picked a lot of flowers for you. Even the birds sound like they're singing for me. I look forward to seeing your parents. Seeing your parents. I will try my best to look as good as I can in front of them. I honestly don't know because I love the horror elements to it. I think it's almost a stress thing more than a horror thing. The fear of defeat and having to restart, making one wrong move makes everything so stressful about it. And I think, I mean, that's a big reason why Pocket Full. So drop the doll here. Let me put this in one of these. Yes, okay. Um, it's a big part of what makes this the genre of horror. Like a lot of people lean into the frustration aspect because naturally, fear of losing progress is a kind of fear, but whether or not that's positive or negative thing will very much depend on the player. And I think it doesn't really matter who you are. No player really likes having their time wasted. Um, Yeah, losing an hour. Yeah, like it's really is. It's finding a balance between respecting the player's time and still having a solid enough difficulty to make the player like feel dread. Um, I'm gonna walk around like a little crouched person. I'm gonna do like a crab walk around here for a while, just because it's entertaining. What do I have? Do I need to? No, I smell gasoline. Well, was I supposed to get the gasoline? I don't know. It's been so long since I played this damn thing. There's a guy up here I think who might be a YouTuber. He's around here somewhere. It's really hard to tell. Like I think that was her opening a opening a door downstairs or something. Reading Bertrand Russell's History of Western Philosophy, working through the Aristotle section right now. Nice. Very, very nice. Um, as I need to read some more Bertrand Russell. I was a fan of. I think I've read like extracts. Um, okay, so that's a trap. So she's left a trap behind. So I think if we stand on that, we get frozen or something. And you just know that now I've said that she's going to appear in front of me. I'm going to run back down the stairs, forget entirely about the trap, and get killed. But yeah. So the longer you play, yeah, she's around here somewhere. Can I pick up? Yeah, so I pick up the yellow lever. Alan Moore's Voice of the Fire. Is that one of his? Sorry, I just took. It's hard to focus on both things at once. It's a skill I'm still learning. Is that one of his graphic novels, um, or more of a novel? Because he wrote his first novel, right? He wrote there was like a city one that I wanted to read of his, with this really dense city one. Um, I don't know why that springs to mind or what exactly I remember about it, but I'm really not a fan of just the way the walls like appear and reappear. Does she come down here? Um, what was I saying? Alan Alan Moore. I just read Watchmen for the first time this year. Actually, it's something Jerusalem. That's the name of it. Next on my reading list, but this one makes for a much more accessible entry into his work. I think. Yeah, I mean, I'd read that Jerusalem was hugely dense, but it's nice to know that there's a good starting point there. Uh, oh yes, take your bloody time. Why do I wiggle like that? What is that? I'm gonna hide in here because I think the breath means that she's getting closer. So if I hide in here for a minute and wait for the breath to go away. So what's the concept of Voice of the Fire? What's he trying to say? Because it certainly his work is something I've wanted to explore for a long time. I read um, the only things of his I've rarely read are V for Vendetta and his Swamp Thing, his run on Swamp Thing, which of course is extraordinary. Yeah, and Watchmen, nice. Yeah, it was one of those works that everyone had spoken so much about, and I sort of felt guilty about getting to it so late, but I sort of finally did, which was nice. Nice to be able to do that. Missing fuse. Does the lever go here as well? No. There's always some new problem, isn't there? Covered with hair. Do you think we have to burn that away? I really don't know. These games are always so cryptic, in no direction whatsoever. 12 or so interlinked short stories, all set in and around Northampton where he lives. Telling he's a caveman in 4000 BC to moor himself in 1995. That sounds really engaging. I must, yeah, pick something like that up. I really have just been picking my way through historical stuff at the moment. Nothing hugely exciting, I suppose. Locked behind. Does that mean like the other side is locked? I don't know. God damn, that one was good. See, I play a lot of these games. But they can still get me. I'm so slow though. How do I? The stamina meter. This guy has marched up the mountain with the stamina of like a 3-year-old. How did you? How did you even get there? Like, it's absurd. Where do I go? Can you show me where to go? I'm lost. It's stuck. Hey, I'm glad it's not just me. Oh. Go away. Her banshee scream gives her super teleportation powers. Hey, that was totally unfair. I'd gotten away from her and then she just like spawned in front of me in the room I just escaped to. That was slightly blatantly unfair. Round 1 goes to you, the demon lady. Flashlights. I remember the first time we met, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I don't know whether that's actually a point to collect those or not. And then the door sort of freezes over from the outside. I'm glad it's... thanks, Frankaloonsies, for making me feel better about going like this. I'm probably you're gonna see a lot more of that. As I do blind playthroughs, because even though I love horror games and play them a lot of the time, I'm still surprised by their capacity to get me. At least the good ones. Though you'll see that yes, sometimes like when she just sort of appears in front of you, I'm less than impressed. But there is my body shifts into fight or flight mode. Has anyone so excited to be streaming tomorrow when Fatal Frame 4 comes out? Yeah, that'll be awesome. I'd be keen to know if that's good and whether it would be fun to stream. Because I'd definitely be keen to try it. Purposely avoided gameplay footage to play it blind. That's probably the best way to play. Any horror game. So we'll go in here. So I think it's the thingy in here, isn't it? The little token. So put the token in the box. Or in the shogi. The shogi in the chimney? Furnace? Don't know. I think the final objective of the game is to put all the shogi pieces in here. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's a lot. It's just the amount of inventory juggling you have to do on this one. On top of the fact you have to run away from this banshee screaming lady. Really, like when she starts chasing you, you just drop stuff. Hello. Pick up my bucket. Callisto Protocol, such a disappointment. I really need to write a piece on that game. Not happy at all. It's just like I was expecting it to at least be scary. It sucked to the end. Yeah, the combat is like iffy. The scares are like, oh look at all this gore. Isn't gore scary? What would happen if everyone was transformed with this alien virus? But the problem is with that game. There's no normal setting. Like there's about 2 minutes of wandering around your spaceship at the start, and then everything goes to shit. And then and then you go into the prison. There's no establishing shot of the prison. You wake up in the prison, and everything is already gone to hell. You know what it is? I tried to figure it out. It's the animations. The game is designed with animations, and so everything happens in a turn order based on the animation sequences. Yeah, you're right. I think that's why the combat sucked. just because of those animations um, being sort of hugely interruptive. Um, like if the monster swung first, or if the monster has a faster swing than you or something, it'd like lock you into a particular approach. Um, Press the button to raise my gun. The enemy's animation triggered second, but it took precedent. Hello. Hi. Hi, Clara. She doesn't have good peripheral vision. That much we can ascertain. Can we follow her? Yes. Hi. It's not gameplay, it's just a series of animations. Such a bizarre design choice. Yeah, I don't know why they did it like that. I totally agree. It's hugely disappointing. Unlock the padlock. Right, because we haven't put the rusty stuff on it. Story was massively underwhelming as well. Absolutely. It just didn't like. There was no opportunity for the game to be scary. Um, like there was just nothing. The one redeeming factor about the game for me, I think, was just the fact that Sam Witwer was in it, who does a lot of Star Wars stuff. But I always liked his Darth Maul, for instance, that kind of thing. And he was Star Killer or something, I think, in that very silly game, The Force Unleashed, which is kind of fun. But yeah, for me, he was the. What? Psst. Hey, you. I don't know how I got here. I'm too scared to go out. I'm waiting until the morning comes. Till then, I need to find something to pass the time. Brought my game console with me, but I think I dropped the game disc somewhere. Could you help me find it? That's seriously? That's what you're worried about? That was the guy I was wondering whether he was a reference to something. Why does is ah is the screen shaking? Is that meant to be an indicator that she's close or something? Is that what's happening? Bring him shogi. Learning that game will keep him busy for years. Stop. Oh my god. It's stuck. This one? Maybe shaking from the cold. Yeah, maybe. I'm finding it a bit frustrating, honestly. I don't do very well with motion sickness, which is often my main concern with these kinds of things. I think that was actually one of the reasons I put it down in the first place. That this game, I didn't, well, that and the frustration of having to replay the whole damn thing again. It's already a really hard game. You have to remember exactly what to do. But I was actually starting to feel a bit queasy, which is why VR horror interests me so much. But I can't really engage with it. The one that I've been able to engage with the most, if has anyone played Resident Evil 7 with the VR on. I thought that was awesome. I didn't feel any motion sickness from that at all, actually, really, beyond sort of the first 5 minutes. Never be able to play VR games Vertigo. Yeah, that sucks. Because VR really is cool, but yeah, like it really depends on the game. But excessive. I couldn't play. Everyone raves about Shadow of Chernobyl, like the Stalker games. And I'm like, wow, yeah, those sound really cool. And I try and play them, but the Stalker games have this like he sort of plods along like this, and his head bobs. I can't play any game with the head bob. It turns out, like I feel way too sick. Um, and as far as I checked, I don't think Shadow of Chernobyl had an option to toggle it off. I think I might have had to install a mod or something to get past that. But yeah, it was a real shame because I was hugely interested in those games, but they just made me feel ill. Um, though I think Pripyat and Clear Skies were okay because there was actually an option to turn it off. But yeah, had to lie down after 3 minutes of the new Doom game. If FPS games It can be pretty hit and miss, with the motion sickness stuff. Which is why, yeah, the shuddering really frustrates me. Yeah, and it's another reason why I generally tend to prefer third-person horror games, just because I know that that won't be an issue, that I won't sort of be taken out of it. Um, I'm curious, like, because I can hear her opening and closing doors. Tried Vermintide 2. I love the gameplay, but the head bobbing made me seasick. Yeah, it's really frustrating, and I assume Vermintide 2 didn't have an option to toggle it off. Because yeah, it really sucks. Like, it's not well thought through. Um, Accessibility still has such a long way to go. So do I in this game. I have no idea what I'm doing. No, and the field of vision thing stretched the screen, didn't actually help. Wow, that's really poor. It's a huge shame. I think I have Vermintide sitting in my inventory or something. Um, but yeah. Where was the rust stuff again? Where was the rust stuff? Does anyone remember where that was? Absolutely clueless, my god. Just wandering around. I don't even know what I'm doing. Just waiting for the next jump scare, I guess. Yellow lever. So that didn't have anything to do with the fuse box. We need to find a fuse. We need to figure out what the lever's for. We need to figure out um, where the rust stuff is again. Well, I just wasn't paying attention. I just was like, rust stuff. Yeah, that'll do. It was in one of the cupboards on the left side. Don't forget the game console. No, I can't. I gotta help that guy. Even if I get jump scared to death. Even if the lady jumps out of nowhere and does her banshee scream. And we got to figure out what the chainsaw's for. I feel like the chainsaw. Like, do you slice through a lock with it, like in Resident Evil 7? I can't remember. And I'm wondering if I should I be pulling? I should probably be pulling these things, um, in near the shogi station. How about I do that first? If you go back to the shogi area, or whatever it was, which I think was in here, yes. Okay. And if I like drop the junk that I don't need, so keep the flashlight on me at all times, obviously. Keep the key. Then I can drop the doll and the water, because I don't know what either of those are for yet. And what I just figured out that's really deceptive and kind of mean is that the sound of the door sliding closed is an automatic process. See, was that a glitch, or was that like she's vaguely in the area? Because just sometimes I'll do this judder, and that's not me wiggling the mouse this time. It's something entirely different. No, I'm glad. I'm glad as well. Like, this is the first proper game I've played that has the capacity to, on stream anyway, that has the capacity to sort of give me a fright, and I'm glad I didn't embarrass myself somehow by screaming out loud for the first time, which I never do in private. So I'm glad my brain wasn't like, it's YouTube performance time. Um, okay, wait. So we get the key out. You can't. Okay, that's she's definitely close, right? So yeah, it must be a. It's really annoying though. It is actually, yeah. It's not good for me. It's not good for me. Like, it looks like a movement glitch. Like, it doesn't look right. Like, I genuinely, yeah, I genuinely don't know what to do about that. If there's anything, um, head bob, turn that off. At least they've got an option there. Is there anything else I'm missing? Because yeah, you had cold breath while you're shaking. Now it's gone. Yeah, it's just a shame that, yeah, that it's so, like, I'm wondering. Yeah, was that the hit bob toggle, or did it toggle off something else really small and superficial that I wasn't sure about? I'm gonna run this way. She's probably this way. So we want to go back to the bit with the key. We want to unlock that, and then we got to figure out what the hell to do from there. Because it's, yeah, like, I'm really just uncertain about the order in which I have to do things beyond getting this key. Serious? Oh my god. Instant death. Was I really that low on health? God damn. Frustration's coming out. My goodness. That felt a little unfair. Uh, Science experiment confirmed. You began to shake. So what I just toggled off wasn't the head bob thing. Yeah, look, I'm still wiggling. It's very blue, but I'm still wiggling. Okay. Um, I don't know. I don't know whether one more round of this will make me start feeling motion sick for the rest of the day. Just let me see what else I have installed. Just give me 1 second. I might have something else cool installed that I can jump into for a minute. Or I could try one more round of it. It's good. It's fun. I just don't know where to go. Is all. Um, don't put yourself through that. Recovering from motion sickness takes way too long. It does. I used to think I was the only person with that problem for some reason. That motion sickness was like a temporary thing for everyone else. But it was like, if I got motion sickness at the start of the day, I'd have it for the rest of the day. Okay, yeah, I'd forgotten why I'd done that. Put that game down in the first place. Okay. All right. Awkward switch in the middle of the stream. This is something I've not done before. Let's have a go at what have we got in here? That's cool. Got a lot of games installed. You can see that. Yeah, obviously, I totally forgotten about that stuff. Okay, we'll run through. We'll run through this because it's a lot of fun and it's really quick too. So, uh, here to cool and change that. Awesome. Okay. Hopefully that's updated all that stuff. And now we'll jump into this. Have a wee playthrough of this because it's a lot of fun. This one, very clever. And we'll just make sure that the screen can actually be seen. Would help a lot. Here we go. So anyone played this one before? This is a lot of fun. So I'll try and it's been like a year or two since I've played it. But I figured I might as well do a wee bit of commentary on it because it is really cool. Never heard of it? Well, boy, here's a treat for you. This is a really cool free horror game that you can download on Steam. It's made with really clever design intent, and it's a lot of fun. So the first thing you'll notice is just how satisfying literally everything is to smash into pieces. I've shared this game with a bunch of people, and people just went nuts, smashed everything, and then they hit something like that, and all of a sudden the environment becomes organic, and all of a sudden it's not quite so fun to smash. But despite sort of the really low level of presentation, it's just a lot of fun. Sorry if I just smashed literally everything. I find this profoundly cathartic. Um, But what the objective of the game basically is to find objects that seem out of place. Obviously, I'm just smashing everything on this first run through because why the hell not? It's too good not to. But your job is basically as a kind of office furniture exterminator, and you have to identify what to smash and what doesn't belong. And to do that, yeah, you want to try and track down parts of what is essentially this entity, and you break them apart so that whatever the building has been put together wrong. Return to the elevator so you can try this again, he says. So we'll return to the elevator. Hilarious. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, but also contains some, genuinely, um, what I remember to be anyway, genuinely disturbing body horror, which I found really effective given the presentation. Do it again, but better. And you'll see there's you'll probably start to see some, more decay. And also I really like the general, you get really invested in the mode of presentation of this sort of inset into the screen. uh, you have this little like TV broadcast, so like the mode of presentation for the story is actually really important. um, this is probably my favorite one, just this extra toilet, like, sorry, no, occupied. Some reason it's giving me Papers, Please vibes. Absolutely, yeah. It feels really evocative of that particular kind of art style. Strangely detailed, but also slightly cartoonish, which is what makes what happens in a bit like actually quite profoundly um, disturbing. This is another game I could look at hauntologically, I imagine, to sort of examine why the news broadcast is being used. No nonsense this time. Do your job. And you'll see now that we're doing a different layout this time. So we have to find that pesky toilet again. Crush them. This chair. This one. Yes. They do not feel pain. Keep going. Oh, aha! Why was his nose bleeding that time? You shall soon see. Um, things like a lot of classic horror. This game really knows how to build rhythms. Um, and build rhythms. It does very well. It escalates quite well. Yeah, that took longer than expected. I need you to work faster. Return to the elevator. The next floors are contaminated. I found, that just the framing device used to be really clever and intelligent. This floor's geometry has become uncooperative. Work quickly. Okay, so now we're upside down. Just all the little twists that the developers thought to put in, like just from a gameplay perspective, hugely satisfying and inventive. But it keeps it interesting. It's not a very long game at all. It keeps it interesting just by virtue um, of this gameplay, but also by making the player confront it. I assume the spin's fine. Yep. Where's the cupboard? Making the player can like try and reason with whatever's going on. Smash that up. One more. I think it was the cupboard. I think. Was it? Oh no, this chair. There you go. So his nose is no longer just bleeding. Something really bad is happening to him. Just go. No problem. So yeah, if you've never played this game before and this is your first experience of it, I want you to think about why the game is being framed in this way, and why the news reporter angle is being taken. This is another one of the really cool levels. You can see that you're controlling both characters at the same time. I think it's a Little Big Planet thing, honestly. From what I remember, there's a Little Big Planet level like this or something. From when I played it a long time ago. So I'm just going to solve the left one first, if I can. Nope. Nope. And it's the fridge. Here we are. Okay. And now on the right. So it's really interesting as well playing it. Or like I've literally shifted my focus from the left screen to the right screen. So now the left screen is acting almost autonomously from the instructions I'm giving the right screen, whereas before it was the opposite. Aha. 2 left, 40 seconds. 1 left. Where are you? Toilet. And as well, I didn't have much time to focus on it then, but the fact that the man in the middle, his face, he wasn't saying anything. He was just sort of slumped in his chair. and you can see that things are getting more and more dangerous, or more and more deconstructed. So we've got lots of no smoking signs, and he's transformed into some kind of disgusting creature. I always hated my mother. I lived in the terror of becoming like her. What horrible comedy that in the end I even die like her, twisted by hate and desire. I was cruel to you before. Your task was always impossible. My hope was I offer this as an explanation of my hate. I offer no excuse. Do not worry yourself with the timer. It is not for you. I am being unborn. And once again, I am amused by the simple beauty of colors. Such abstract and fleeting things. I will unknow them. It was good, he was about to say. If only I had more time. We've completely discarded any pretense that it was an office building that we were in. We now seem to be smashing through someone's insides, as far as we can tell, and taking out some kind of parasitic infestation. This is wild. It goes a lot of places very quickly. This is where it solidifies itself. Actually, to be really neat. Uh, just the time spent in silence, I think, is a profound as well as our ability to piece together the narrative from nothing. I need to discuss your test results. There's been an accident, a massacre downtown. That will have to wait. No, this will wait. There are people dying. You are dying. It's what we had feared. The cancer has spread. It's now. What's happening in that office downtown is the perfect story. It's what I'll be remembered for. I have to go. We'll treat this cancer. It can wait. If it was just in your pancreas alone, it would be inoperable. But it spread to your liver, your lungs, even your bones. By our estimates, you have 4 to 6 months. You need to start putting your affairs in order. I don't have time for this. People need me. This is the story of my career, my life. I can't ignore it. You can't walk out of this office and have this all just go away. No one will care about my death if I don't prove to them that I lived. And then just like that, really easily, the game is able to recontextualize the gameplay that we just experienced. So that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. It's really short and sweet. I think there's a secret, might be a secret ending somewhere, which I never bothered to get because I thought that ending was good enough. But it's the way that it recontextualizes all the events, which seemed at first to be quite silly, and they still are. I mean, like you're just going around an office smashing things up with a hammer, but it adds a profundity to the events of the game. And yeah, as Frankaloonsies said, so short and so good. And if that did interest you, like it's free. You can play it. Just for free on Steam, I think, and probably download it off itch as well. But it really is a game all about. I guess you're playing from the perspective of either of both the medicine that's meant to be fighting off this cancer, fighting this sort of hopeless battle. Um, but you're also doing it in the office building that's sort of implied to be under siege as well. So there's sort of a really dual focus that I always found really clever about this game. I sort of sat back afterwards and sort of felt like I just had a good meal or something. It really was. It's a really satisfying experience. I remember finding the body horror itself to be quite confronting in the first time, just because it went from this sort of cartoony kind of news anchor to this really disturbing figure. Like you couldn't even tell where his mouth was anymore, really, and that kind of thing. Um, but no, hugely cool game. Highly recommend it. Um, all right, so that's game two for today. What else can I jump onto quickly? Even the fact that along with all the new organic furniture, the exact same ones keep popping up almost as soon as you destroyed them. Confusing at first, makes a lot of sense later. Yeah, it's what I do. That's what I really like about it. Yeah, I agree. Frankaloonsies is that everything seems kind of random and gamey, but it's not necessarily random and gamey. It reveals itself to have this really strong focus, this really strong purpose. And I was deeply impressed by that because it found a way to link the mechanics to the story, even though at first the mechanics didn't seem to be linked to the story at all. Yeah, I was hugely engaged um, in that. What can I play for 25 minutes or so, half an hour or so? Um, uh, it's, it's a good question, HJ. That's a good question. Um, we could. Yeah, we could have a wee gander at. Thanks for playing that. I have to recommend it to a few people. Yeah, no, I'm glad I can share it. Because I've sort of started to realize that that's probably what the purpose of my channel should be, not just analysis, but of sharing particularly really human bits of art, um, as well as silly ones where the banshee screams at you every 5 minutes, and you wonder how on earth she managed to teleport into the room ahead of you. That kind of thing. The unfairness of it all, profound. Um, okay, what I'll do. Uh, we'll we'll boot up. We'll boot this one up. Um, it's kind of a funny one. Um, I've not received all the endings on this. I'm just gonna call it a blindish uh, playthrough because I've gotten a few endings, but it's I'd be interested to see. It's very clearly trying to chase um, pathologic, which which is interesting and may not always seem to work. Um, yeah, it's very good Lovecraftian horror, but I like you couldn't call this game a um, proper attempt at emulating pathologic. I think, even though it very clearly wants to be the next pathologic, it's missing a lot of things. So this one's called Stars Die, and you'll really quickly be able to sort of see its influence. I picked this up I think at some point last year. I think for quite cheap. It's not very expensive. It's on Steam as well. It's a very curious game. Um, a lot of a lot of the bits don't really seem to fit together. Maybe that's because I haven't yet got all the endings, but it's basically a game about choosing a certain philosophy, a certain outlook on life in the face of incredible horror, much like Pathologic. So we sort of got that same framework there, but the game gives you no time to breathe. Basically, there's sort of no time to understand the context around any of your choices, which is the game's biggest problem. But you might disagree with me, so we'll just play this for half an hour or so and see how it goes. It's very well presented. I always enjoyed the presentation of this game. Um, yeah, it's very cool. So yeah, it's quite a change today from. I hope people don't mind. I wasn't playing Amnesia. I just figured I wanted to give that a really full go, just to really immerse myself in it. but yeah, I was sort of sad I wasn't able to to give it justice today. But I can at least spotlight some other Wii games that are cool, or at least worth talking about. Always fun to be here. Awesome. See, we've got this really neat, really neat opening shot, which gave me the impression that the game would be much broader and more expansive than it actually turns out to be. Sadly, I wasn't so impressed with it in the end. Um, Not to say it's all bad, but it sort of notably falls short compared to what it tries to ape and emulate. And obviously, like it's still an indie game. Games are bloody hard to make, so full respect. Press the interact button. I've already failed. I've got to make this bigger for myself. I've already failed, and I'm so tired. Okay, I will be recording everything from this point onward because I want you to understand why I did it. Let's see. The time is now 3:56 in the morning. As you already know, I am Dybowski, Union Volunteer ID 174-20475. You can see right there, not even hiding it. There's your pathologic influence. The one who committed the worst possible crime, according to you. I'm well aware of the significance of my transgression, but you know the whole will annihilate us all eventually. I knew there was something else that could be done. Now I think I've found it. I'll be frank, I don't know why I'm still alive. I have to find another way, and no one or nothing will stop me. Can only hope that my actions will eventually make sense for you. Forgive me. So it's obviously you're playing on the very cryptic ideas, just a bit more. And the longer so it's a time based game, much like Pathologic. So the longer you spend on the boat enjoying yourself, the less you'll be able to see uh, in the actual area, which I did like. Oops, what's going on with the door? There we go. So we just want to, yeah, don't have much time. Let's get going. Let's go, because otherwise we're going to miss our introduction on the area on the island we were traveling to. So it's a really curious game. Um, it's basically a low budget, more obviously Lovecraftian pathologic. If either of those things are more possible to accentuate, it definitely has a greater focus on the cosmos, I suppose, or a more direct focus on the cosmos than pathologic does. And I gotta say, yeah, the presentation really is stellar. I just wish you're gonna hear me say this a lot. Probably, I wish the game gave you more time to breathe. Um, but who knows? You might at the end of this playthrough, you might be like, "Damn, that looked really cool." I think it's definitely a project worth supporting. Um, but yeah, whether or not it doesn't it certainly won't fill the pathologic shaped hole in your heart. I don't think, if that's what you're really looking for. But yeah, and the low poly stuff is genuinely very impressive. Nothing ever will. No, indeed. Pathologic is one of a kind, and the people say, oh, I guess you could say two of a kind technically, but even then, it's not. That's not really true. Each game is different unto itself, as an island unto itself. Yeah. So nice. We cruise. I don't even have to look at where I'm piloting. I can just spin my head around. This was one of the games I actually thought of making a wee video essay on at one point, and I might still, but just sort of one of those ones that seems interesting at first, but sort of dropped off my radar as I realized it would probably be a truncated video essay. The color scheme, yeah, the color scheme and presentation is awesome. The deep purples and blues and pinks makes it feel really distinct from other horror games, and well, just other games in general. Makes it feel genuinely quite alien. Hello, you don't belong here. I don't know who you are or why you're here, but you need to leave immediately. Have you ever played the Swapper? I feel like you could go down the rabbit hole hard for that one. No, actually, though I may have heard of it. Um, can you supply me some more description of the Swapper? I feel like I know what you're talking about. I definitely haven't played it, but yeah, I would be interested to play it. Need to leave immediately. Uh, there's something I need to do here. Good for you. Go look for Dr. Miyazawa then. She wants to talk to you. That was easy, wasn't it? Follow this path upwards. You'll find our base eventually. Look for her there. She's probably in her office. I warn you, though. Don't let her draw you into this shit. You create clones of yourself in space to complete puzzles, but the game's story philosophically begins looking at your copies and dives into what the self is. Oh, yeah, I'd absolutely be interested in that. Yeah, thank you for that recommendation. The Swapper. I have to remember that. You do well to take my advice and leave as soon as you can. Why are you wearing a hazmat suit? Is this place dangerous? Better than a coffin. I'm just taking reasonable precautions. Not that it would make a lot of difference at this point, but whatever. Only 2 to 3 hours long and not that difficult. Nice. That's the kind of game I'm honestly looking for more and more more and more these days. Even though I do still love my big RPGs and my hardcore survival horror, just don't have the time. Had me go down a rabbit hole and 6 hours into what is self, and I could not sleep for a full day. 11 out of 10. Awesome. That's exactly That sounds like the recreation of my experience at the end of Pathologic. Sounds great. Who are you? Who cares? Fine. I'm Eldridge. Just leave me alone, okay? So yeah, the dialogue is not quite as compelling. My name is Dybowski. Okay. Very well. I'll go talk to Dr. Miyazawa then. Bye. But again, not to say that this game isn't worthy of exploring. I guess I just went into it with there were sort of reviews that indicated this was a pathologic kind of experience, and I probably put the wrong amount of emphasis on it. But yeah, awesome structure, really awesome space, and good audio design too. Actually, very quite cool. And no jump scares, just a more general sense of existential dread. I just realized I might need Eldridge to actually show me where to go. Is he coming? Or did he go up here or something? No. Don't know where he went. He's very slow. I guess I'll just follow him though. He knows where he's going. It's very easy to get lost. Which I also like about this wee island. A wee disgusting, disturbing island. It's another game, much like Perfect Vermin, that sort of focuses on the idea of contamination, I suppose, and what that means for a body. And of course, there's a lot of really negative connotations that people can draw with contamination, even contamination itself. Like contamination implies the corroding of some value or thing that the body itself holds dear or needs to function, um, which is why I find I find the news depressing these days. Suffice to say, yeah. But this character, I think he was a strange one to introduce the game with, because he's just this really gruff military guy. He doesn't really say anything. Obviously, doesn't want to be here, which I suppose in some sense is interesting in itself. But you sort of feel like already that the location is alien enough. I don't know. Just I would have appreciated a slightly different welcome. I guess you're supposed to feel unwelcome, right? I think from here I can find my way. Yeah, we just need to go to the old labs in here. You can see these really weird egg things too. Uh, Environmental design is really on point. It's a really marvelous looking game. Just have a meander around their private quarters. Where are they? Miyazawa, what are you really doing here? It's an interesting question to open conversation and presumably our first meeting. Um, I don't really know exactly what I need to sort of stumbled upon this place. So sort of yeah, like whereas Pathologic makes the motivations for your character pretty clear. This is obviously meant to be more open ended, but the fact that I don't have any context means that it's really hard to know what to say. Whereas in Pathologic, I'd sort of always have an understanding of where I was approaching the conversation from, which is a really important part of mystery works in general. Is that you need the reader needs to have a grounding in what's actually going on. Um, I do what I want to do. Unlikely considering you're here. How did you find this island? I was just sailing until I found this place. Not very informative, but not entirely useless. In any case, I'm Dr. Miyazawa. I'm in charge of the research team investigating this place. Since you're here and we both know it's not coincidental, may find some use for you later. You'll be allowed to stay here for now as long as you don't interfere with our work. In the meantime, go look for Dr. Ngugi. Ask him to perform a medical analysis on you. What do you care about my health? The moment you arrived here, you made yourself a part of my research. If you're sick and about to die, at least your corpse will be useful. I'm not feeling too well now that you mention it. Tell that to Dr. Ngugi. You can do open-ended if the answers also imply interesting things about your character. Not that this is doing that. Yeah, um, that's a good point as well. If there's sort of character development going on in the open-endedness of the answers, that itself is good. But I would still like initial context. Kentucky Route Zero, yeah, that does that very well. I've not actually finished that yet, but it does do that very well. Just sort of leaving the player's imagination to spark all these different future ideas about where your character comes from. That's enough, right? That does enough. But the dialogue in this game, I think, may have been translated, which might add to the sort of the stilted feel of it. I can't actually remember where the. I assume this game is a Russian game, but I may be wrong. Fine, I'm on my way. I can't remember where Dr. Ngugi is. Apologies if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. He should just be in here. Uh, he wasn't here at one point. We'll go look for him elsewhere then. Just sprint around the base, making a complete fool of myself. Whee! There's a remarkable amount of trust given to me, considering I'm just some random stranger. He was here. He's gone now. Yeah, I have no idea where he is. Like, I don't know. Like, I shouldn't have any authority, presumably. Like, there was no indication I knew any of the people on this island before, and it's not like I've been asked to show ID or anything. I'm not a scientist. I'm just kind of here, which makes the events of the game feel a bit funny, honestly. Which is main character plot armor working strong. Yeah, exactly. It's working overtime, honestly. Maybe I will have to ask. Where is the doctor? I need to see the doctor. I'm feeling sick. He should be behind the base somewhere. Oh, very informative. Thank you. And you'll note that when you try and re-enter a conversation, there were a lot of dialogue options I left unclicked before, but there's sort of nothing. I can't retry those options. Sort of when the conversation's over, it's over, which is a little bit of a shame. How do I behind the base? Is that him? Yes, the fuzzy guy in the distance. It's over. It's over. Just a little bit more. Just well, he seems satisfied. Ah, here you are. You must be the one from the. You must be the one from that boat Eldridge saw on the radar. I'm Dr. Ngugi. Nice to meet you. Your name was. I'm Dybowski. Very well, Dybowski. I'll be honest, we're not really sure what's going on in this place, or if they know, they're not telling me. I'd like to make a simple medical exam on you, just to make sure this place isn't harming you in any way. Now, don't worry, we've all been through it, and we were all perfectly fine. Well, mostly fine. As you can surely tell, this isn't the proper place to do this, so meet me later at my office. I'm just finishing setting up the sensor, but I'll be there shortly. Which reminds me, Dr. Riggs seemed really interested in meeting you. I believe you two should have a chat. Should be around here somewhere. All right, I'll drop by your office later. Thank you, I'll see you there. So, wait, where's Reg? Don't worry, I can handle the sensor on my own. Go see Reg, should be around here somewhere. Very helpful, thank you. And no map as well, so can't contextualize myself in any way. I'm just going to have to hope that Reg has somehow appeared back at base, because the game does run on the same kind of timer system, right? Like everyone should be doing something at a designated time of day, um, which is a nice feature. Um, one of the bigger drawing points for me. But the guy just talked to you with no feedback. That felt like a conversation he had with himself. Yeah, like like I said, I sort of went into this game with really high expectations, and then found them quickly deflating, um, just because there's no real weight to anything that happens. Things just sort of happen, and you're expected to make decisions based on no context whatsoever. And like it's not like what's being presented is inventive, and interesting, but there's no opportunity to actually engage with it, which is a really big mistake. I think from the writing. Can I ask the guy where? Can I ask Eldridge here where Rig is? Like, there's no further input you can provide. You just sort of get talked at, and then you make decisions because all of a sudden people are looking to you to sort of decide what to do at one point, and you just sort of like, I have no clue what the hell you're talking about. Leave me alone. Go talk to me as that. Well, you're very helpful. You're very helpful, aren't you? Very helpful. What's Miyazawa going to say? Dr. Rig is behind the base. What are you waiting for? Go take the medical analysis. My god. Is he back now? He's not back. What is happening? What if I... He just said around the base. This is around the base. I can't see... Can't see anyone. I remember this being a problem. Probably because I wasted so much time on the boat. Oh, well, at least he's coming back. I'll just follow you back to your office. Seems... Yeah, I don't know. There's sort of an implication, I think, that the Earth has already experienced a number of supernatural events, which might be why these people are like vaguely nonchalant about the whole fleshy pod tree thing. But it does, yeah. Like there's no reaction. There's no reaction to base yourself off of, which is a big problem I have with so many horror games, which I was talking about when I was playing Yuki Onna. Yeah, this is fine. Like this is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. Like, it's the Callisto Protocol thing. Like, there's no time to center yourself in the prison where it's at like a normal, as running as expected level. There's nothing like when it's completely destroyed. You've got no reference to base yourself off of. So therefore, there's sort of no reason to feel scared because no one, like, there was no calm before, and there's just sort of this, in this game, which I guess not quite as extreme a problem because it's not going for like visceral scares, but there's not even any sort of creeping sense of unease from the characters, at least not at this moment, not in their first introductions. They're just like, oh no, just setting up the senses, just having a look out at the ocean, sort of thing. It's all a bit, yeah, it's a bit disjointed and strange. You're here, good. Let's begin. I've actually been feeling like shit for the past few days, so yeah, let's do it. It's like, why do you need blood for? Giving my blood to a private research company just like that? You think I'm stupid? I can't. You won't like what you'll see. We'll just say yes. Just do it. And trust this guy. It's kind of disappointing you don't get to answer any like specific questions that might flesh your character out in this medical exam, but whatever. What are the results? Using a needle that big should be considered attempted murder. That's a nice wee line. What are the results? No unusual symptoms I can tell externally. Slight fever, nothing too worrying. Now for the blood sample. Let's see. Look at his big sort of. I think every character in this game, Manimal, sort of paws. Got these really weird, like glued together fingers. Should do it Silent Hill Shattered Memory style. I like Silent Hill Shattered Memories, but yeah, the it lays it on pretty thick when you first boot the game, right? It's like this game will psychologically analyze you and deconstruct your deepest personality, and I think it's there's only so many things it can tell you about yourself. But I did really like Silent Hill Shattered Memories. I thought it was a lot of fun. If I could stream it, I would, but I only have it on ye old PSP, I think. So yeah, my friend and I had a 45-minute argument about the Bull / Princess King Prince story. Good times. I'm planning to use that this year in um, a horror a horror tabletop. to specifically bring that example up. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the 45-minute argument that sparks. What is this? You've been inside the hole. Uh, that's where I come from. Yes, that's just no way. If you really come from there, and that's what the blood says. Well, you already know what's happening to you. I don't even know how you're still standing. You don't have any of the expected symptoms. Even then, the blood gives no room for mistake. I'd say you have around 6 to 12 hours left a day at most. I'm really sorry. Whatever, the hole will kill us all anyway in due time and just accelerate the process in my case. So I think the hole is meant to be some other, that's like the other supernatural sort of entity that's plaguing Earth, and this thing sort of arrived, I think. Yeah, I guess it will. Still, we have to do our best to change that. Rig believes, I said Ruggy for some reason. Rig believes this place is the key, so I'm hopeful. Back to your condition. If you feel any discomfort or your condition worsens, let me know. I'm sure I don't need to tell you at this point, only a Viridian machine would delay it. Dr. Miyazawa believed this place could be related to the hole, but we knew if it was that bad, we would leave before needing one of those things. So we did bring some of the softer stuff for early symptoms and the like, but nothing for cases this bad. Fuck it, I'm dead anyway, with or without the drugs. I'm really sorry. I always feel so bad about you guys. When I had to flee from Magades, I joined one of these improvised teams to try help somehow, like basically everyone, right? Even before the union, knowing that I might have to go down there myself eventually. Never actually happened for one reason or another. Too old for that now, I'm afraid. Wouldn't last 5 minutes in there. I just stayed with my team, and years of dead ends keep piling on. Hey, how you doing? You've just got the last 10 minutes of the stream. Then I met Dr. Rig, another refugee like me, who asked me join SSRL. New blood, fresh ideas, and a bright mind. Seemed like the right move, and look where that brought us. Pretty cool, huh? It's just there's a lot of information to digest there, Doctor, but pretty cool, right? I don't know what it is, but I've never seen Rig so excited about research, so I know it has to be important. Shouldn't hold you any longer. Thanks for the cooperation. See you later, kid. You're welcome. See you later. Okay, very disjointed. And he's no, not gonna do any more processing of that data. No, just stare into space. Can respect that. Is Rig back now? Because I assume that's who we have to speak to next. You'd assume she'd be back, but she's not. What does Miyazawa have to say about this? Just saw the results of that blood test. That was awfully quick. I knew who you were even as you approached with the boat, but to have it unequivocally confirmed like that, quite interesting, I must say. I see now that apparently you didn't abandon your duty after all, but merely searched for an alternative solution. Don't know how you're still alive, but I don't imagine you have much time left. Either way, that didn't stop you from coming here. It's what people like us live for. We roam the alien corners of the world to try and understand our existence. Follow me to the lab. Dr. Egg will join us soon. There's things you may want to see. Sure, lead the way. Okay, just push past me. That's a bit rude. But alright, I guess you're the boss around here, I suppose. It's interesting how, yeah, no one's really wearing the suit except she walks faster than Marine. She does. That's a good point. The Marine, yeah, Eldridge just like hanging around. You notice what I did like was that Eldridge obviously clearly mistrusts the place. So I guess he's the only one who's actually taking this seriously, but no one else is wearing the various hazmat suits that are literally scattered around the base. There's Dr. Rig. Can I catch her before she comes in, or is she just going to be like, talk to me in the lab? Come, there's something I need to show you. Oh my god. Well, there's even more stuff to spend channel points on than last time. Yes, there is. I went through and added some things. I still need to add some more. I haven't quite finished all the various affiliate setup stuff, but I hope the channel point stuff is actually working. Yeah, like as long as you're gaining channel points, then you can blow them on something big next time. Waiting for everyone to arrive. Yeah, so this like skips forward time, I think. We always have to do it your way, huh? Obviously. The whole world is going to hell and all you care about is your fucking research. All of you will end up like that dead thing simply because you didn't listen to me. You never do. Exactly, we never do, never will. Besides, Miyazawa can take the credit for this one. That will be all Eldridge. Fucking hell, why did you even bring me here? This isn't over. Someone's grumpy? You, the walking corpse. I hope you came here to be useful. You're supposed to show me something. What is it? It's this pangolin. He's dead now, so it's not like it matters anymore. It's a very strange conversations. Redeemed hydrate. All right, thank you. I should have a drink. Yeah, what was that fight? I don't understand either. Thanks, guys. Actually needed that. I did, yeah. Like it's the flimsiest fight. No one really has any visible ideology beyond this place bad, this place good for my research because I'm cold-hearted callous scientist, and this place cool. According to the other doctor, we don't really know what Rig's thinking at the moment. I'm trying to understand what's happening to these creatures. What is this animal sick? No, maybe he wasn't. He did have some strange external mutations all over his body, but despite how scary they might look, they weren't actually harming him in any way. He was perfectly healthy as far as I could tell. There was, however, some abnormal behavior, but that's about it. Now to your next question. If he is healthy, why is he dead then? You can ask that to Dr. Miyazawa. We're scientists doing our job, don't lecture me about this. The bigger picture takes priority over individual lives. It should be lives, but you know how important this is, what's at stake here. And what did we learn? He died for nothing. We had to try. What do you need help with? Our sensors are detecting multiple creatures around the area we call the Blue Forest. To the right as soon as you leave the space. They're not moving, but we know that they're alive. You still haven't told me what I'm supposed to do. I will give you instructions there if needed. Okay. Um, Wait, this doesn't make any sense. I come out of here nowhere. I come out of nowhere in the middle of this research, and a few minutes later, you already trust me enough to assist you. Yeah, what? Fair point. As you can imagine, I don't like the idea of a stranger wandering around my facilities. We didn't really indicate that before. You just sort of like go have a wander, basically. But whatever. I know you came here for a reason, so I prefer to keep you close where I can see you. I guess that it's flimsy, but it makes sense. You'd think you'd just get the Marine to guard me, but very well, I'll see you there. Before you go, take a radio. If you're lost or can't find someone, give us a call. Oh, see, well, she's the nicest one so far. No one else offered to give me a radio. Am I just supposed to follow them? Wait, hang on. What the heck is going on? They got identical walk cycles. And you think girl bosses unite. Yeah, it's a real girl boss march. I can't tell if I'm confused because I just got here or if anyone is as confused as I am. Uh, well, yeah, everyone else can be the judge of that. But I think general confusion. Yeah, just general confusion. No idea what's happening. I don't have any idea what's happening, and I've played this game through twice. Getting two of the 4 or 5 endings just does not help in any way. The game just like throws things at you, but it looks pretty. It's a pretty game. So with some, the endings are themselves interesting, but like yeah, um, it's so disjointed. Like what the hell is happening? This object wasn't here before. I'm not so sure of that. The Gavials definitely weren't. They're like the Gators. That explains the movement we've been detecting ever since we got here. They seemed interested in it somehow. Well, why is that? Like the big dramatic drum beat. That wasn't that. Uh, how did these animals even get here? Look, one problem at a time. The Gamer Council has convened. We have decided we're all confused together. Yeah. Aside from having caught the attention of the animals, it really doesn't seem to be doing anything at all. Could it be? It's moving. Well, yeah, I can see that. What the? Is it responding to us? Or anything that gets closer? Maybe this is why they were moving around the place. They were looking for this thing. Maybe there's just more of them. Could be. Hold on, there's something there on the ground between the cracks. Aviridian life support? How the hell did this horrible machine get here? You, Dybowski, do you have anything to do with this? Hey, I just got here. That's what Yoviest is saying. It doesn't add up, but then someone else found this place before we did, and it's not like the Union hands these over to just about anyone. This belonged to someone who should have been at the hole, which means a one-way trip. Might be able to find information on whoever used it. I'll try to access the black box remotely, see what I can find. Something's wrong here. There's no Viridian left, but the dose wasn't administered. It was thrown away. It's not like they would need it here, but still, it's odd. You're very quick to turn your back on the giant, moving like eldritch. I don't know what totem, like pillar. I don't know what it is, but like, what the hell is happening? There's also an audio recording, but it's vastly damaged. Send it to my computer and I'll have a look. Do you have any GPS data? Things are happening. Slow down. Hang on. Barely. There's only 2 coordinates. The last one is here, but the first is far below. Underwater. Remember the scans we made when we arrived? Despite the interference, the sonar seemed to indicate a complex cave system underground. We don't know how far this whole structure goes, but it's at least another 200 meters deep, and this GPS data supports that. Probably the epicenter of the earthquakes from a few hours ago. Whatever is down there, it has to be important. I haven't noticed any quakes. There hasn't been a noticeable one in a while. They used to be constant when we arrived. They're still ongoing underground, even more so than before. Actually, whatever is causing them is. I'm laughing through this whole thing because there's absolutely no rhyme or reason to this conversation. Yes, no, there really isn't. This was like the recurring dream I have where I'm in class and the teacher is explaining our test, but suddenly can't understand a word anyone is saying. I'm looking around confused. Yeah, what is happening? I don't remember this conversation at all. I just remembered the good bits, which was the environment and I guess the themes and ideas that it managed to present, even in a silly way. I'm gonna focus on that from now on. The object, whatever it is likely to be a dead end, at least with the current experiment. Only one I can think of to explore the depths of the structure is likely from the hollow tower. We already placed a sensor before at the top, so I'm going back there now. I'll begin a more thorough study. I doubt Dr. Ngugi is busy, so tell him to come as well to give assistance in case I need it. You go to your office and analyze the readings I send you. Look into the audio recording as well in the meantime. Very well. Uh, I'm coming with you. Should I come with you again? How do we climb it? Hollow Tower, what's that? Might as well go there myself too. All of them are just basically just, yep, I'm coming with. Okay. I don't know. I don't even really know who you are or what your objective is here, to be honest. Fallout 4 dialogue options, 4 ways to say sure. One of the greatest disappointments. I'm still unreasonably disappointed about that game and how, yeah, coming off playing. I think I just played through Fallout 2 or something at the time that I delved into Fallout 4, and I was like, damn, what have they done? The voice protagonist. Such a bad idea. See if I can finish this game in another 10 minutes. What's with the. Okay, I think I remember liking this. Groovy music. The visuals, it's a real trip, eh? It's really good. The visuals. So well presented, like this moon as well, like the way it reflects in the water. I was really impressed with that. And the music is pretty groovy at this point too. It's the dialogue, right? I'm glad it's not just me. Like I saw so many positive reviews for this game, but well, scenery and scenario are like interchangeable. Like the world that they've built like seems genuinely really interesting, but the way of introducing it to the player comes off as really clumsy, which is a huge shame because there's like some really cool stuff going on here. Like where did that red moon even come from? Because there's our actual moon up there, which is of course turned purple. Of course. It's just yeah, like Lovecraftian question after Lovecraftian question, and it's sort of yeah, exactly. You have no investment in this. The whole conversation, yeah, it could have taken place without me. Like there was no like I provided no input. They're just sort of two scientists like talking right past me about experiences they've had for like the last like few weeks or whatever, however long they've been here. Like nothing I'm doing is adding to the game at all. I'm a passive participant. Okay, we made it. Waiting for everyone to arrive. So, it's like a pattern. Reek should be able to hear us now. Connection is on. You didn't answer his question. Are you there? Yes, I'm here. Like you said, I'm watching it on the screen right now. Mr. Marine made it. It's very clear they're not random tremors. Our sensors are still gathering data. Should help us determine its origin. But there's something odd about it. What's up with the smog? Nothing too important, right? No, hold on. It has a similar composition to volcanic gas, but it definitely isn't. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I'm out of here. What's causing it to appear? We're here because of the quakes. The smoke is not our priority. The rate at which the smoke is being expelled seems to match with the periodic tremors. You're right. They appear to be related. My God. He's just just there in jeans and a t-shirt. I like how she's like, the smoke is not our priority, and then the other doctor is like, oh, actually they do seem to be related, and then she's like, oh, you're right. He is way too confident. Yeah, you got to respect. Yeah, Doctor Ngugi. He's just what a legend. You know, just on this alien environment, just yeah, rocking t-shirt and jeans. It seems likely that that's the center of growth of the entire formation. Then there is no other choice. You really want to go down there? What else can I do? Hold on. Analysis of the sensors just finished. It should be on your way. He's like, I too can be a girl boss. Anyone could be a girl boss if they try. Great, I'm receiving it. Let's see. Amazing. What is it? These are vital signs. The fuck? The tremors. They're not earthquakes. It's a heartbeat. In this twisted universe, everyone actually qualified is dead. It wouldn't surprise me. No fucking... Eldridge seems to be the most sensible one. Wait. Then this whole place? Alright, I hope we've all learned our lesson. Start packing the essentials. We evac in 15 minutes. That's right, run away like you people always do. I'm not going anywhere. We don't know what this thing is. We have no intel, no equipment, and no personnel to deal with the situation. We are way over our heads here. He's talking a lot of sense. I'm the one that makes that call, not you. I'm trying to protect you all. We don't need it, not from you. Don't you see? This is like that fucking crater in Europe. The longer we stay, the faster it will kill us. Even if that's true, all the more reason to stay. It's why we came in the first place. You're insane. Hey, Doc, don't tell me you want to stay too. I don't know. I need time to think. Rob, help me. What should we do? Are you there? Fucking hell, we're wasting time. We don't have time to think. Just take the Zodiac. It should have enough fuel for you to return to ADAC. What is going on? Whatever, I'll take it. If you change your mind, you can come if I haven't left yet. Wait, yeah, Eldridge, can I come with you? What? I don't even know who you are. Get away from me. Then I'm leaving on my own. Fuck, what? 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 But you're the only one. You're the only one who's talking any sense right now. I'll just stay here. What will the rest of you do? Look at him. He's just done. He's just done. What is happening? We need a way through these membranes and go underground. No, you won't find what you're looking for down there. What'd you come here to do, Rig? This was everything I needed. They were right, which means there's not much time left. What? Time left for what? Rig? Rig, respond. Stay at the base. I'm going there now. What are you up to this time? Wait, guys, for God's sakes. What is happening? I want to go with Eldridge. You guys are... Well, I like Dr. Ngugi, but... Just out of sheer respect for the man. But what is happening? I like how I've played through this game twice already. And, like... It's just none of it... Obviously none of it stuck properly. A Disney tour of this really cool world. Yeah, that's exactly the right phrasing, I think. It's like, this person's come up with so many cool ideas. Like, they've done all this awesome world building. It's crazy to think these are the people we trust to find a cure for cancer. Yeah, there's no professionalism here. I hope I'm going the right way. It's across here, right? This is where the weird wiggly red tentacle thing was. So if we go back across here... Eldridge. Fuck this whole fucking place. I'm getting out of here. No, not even any punctuation. That's how done he is. That's how done he is with this whole situation. He didn't even bother to put a full stop at the end of his sentence. He's done. Eldridge just walking out of the actual game. Hey, I don't know what's going on. Waiting for everyone to arrive. This is groovy music again. Like, the presentation is just so good. We're so close. What is wrong with you? What exactly do you think you're going to do down there? Trying to save the day by destroying everything you don't understand? Do you even have a plan? You're being so irrational. Our investigation has been leading us down there. Why the sudden descent? Because you're still just as clueless as the team who arrived before us. Okay, wait, so there were people before you? A team? I partially reconstructed the audio we got from the black box. Mostly unintelligible, but they're yelling, arguing. They have no idea what they're doing. Just like us? Just like us. They found their answers eventually, but not below. Or they just weren't ready for them. And are you? This place is the future. The hole is no longer a threat. Where is your evidence? Do you want a list? Just look at Dybowski. She's the deserter. Deserter, the fucking tabloids speak for you now. Who am I? What is going on? And you're the asshole. I didn't come here to listen to this shit. I'm out. Um. No, you're right. I'm sorry. It's obvious to me that you never deserted. Quite the opposite. What is happening? Just this lady just heel turns every sentence. Honestly, I'm surprised it took me this long to realize. I know where you're getting at. I considered it too. So you knew who she was? You really think I would let her stay if I had what? If I hadn't recognized her? Fair enough. What is happening? Anyway, it's been weeks since you left. Weeks? That's impossible. She should be dead already. Unsurprisingly, the blood test said she doesn't have much time left anyway. Her plot armor, it's plainly visible. But like Abe mentioned, with that type of exposure, even the most optimistic estimates would indicate she should have died days ago. You've been listed as dead by the USFF for a while now. I'm sure if you repeated the blood test, you would already be showing some further improvements. This place is saving your life. It was doing so before you arrived. That's why you came. Viridian can be especially effective on certain people. Although it's true, this effective would be unprecedented. You know it doesn't add up. She clearly didn't use the machine, only took the simple doses, and look at her, breathing and thinking on her own. She's not even blind. And she's far from being an exception. No, but I'm very lost. Those animals, this entire place, even us. Everything is changing, adapting us to a new reality. I don't know, kid. This isn't... You're saying we should be okay with all this. It sounds wrong. You talk about wrong. Where is your home? Where is mine? We both lost everything. But we kept fighting anyway. Now the opportunity we never thought would happen has arrived. This is a miracle, Abe. Dybowski, you've seen what I've seen. You know I'm right. Keep me out of your crazy shit. If you want to keep fighting, this is how. But she just keeps talking. Like I didn't just try and completely shut her down. Enough of this. I'm tired of listening to your babbling. Is this what it will take for you to feel good about yourself? Even if this was all true, it's unacceptable. You talk about fighting, but are the first to relinquish your fate to some kind of planetary parasite? You say you want to save us, but then you can't even trust us to solve anything? The world is united against the whole. That's all that we need. Have you stopped to think why it cares? Why it even wants us alive? I don't see any transcendence here, only utter obsolescence. Finally, the game is actually providing some ideological information and becoming vaguely interesting. Robin, please, could this really save us? We're already saved, Abe. It's finally over. We're stronger now. Yeah, I'll expect a 10-page essay on this next stream. They're looking for some analysis. No, but I don't want to stop being who I am. It's up to us alone to find a way. This place is proof enough that it really isn't, whether you like it or not. You assume malevolence, but all the evidence indicates otherwise. If we're incapable of solving this on our own, we'd simply be delaying the inevitable. Sorry, but I'm with Reg here. I'm not sure that's actually possible. It's too much, even for you. The future will never come at the hands of external forces. Only we are responsible for our lives. Yes, very inspiring, but what's the plan? I don't know what's going on. There's something important down here. I have to know what that is. What you really mean, but don't say, is that you want to find a way to destroy it. It's on the table, among other possibilities. Right. This is ridiculous. Uh, Time to must be stopped. You still don't get it. It's a pointless exercise. We'll see about that. You want a future no matter what. I want a future we fought for, a future we deserve. The Union gives us purpose, the common goal. Entire nations cooperating as one. I don't want this to be for nothing. If we let something else fix the problem for us, the Union will lose all reason to exist. See, this is actually interesting. The next day, all the nations will be at each other's throats again and back to square one. Sort of a Watchmen kind of idea, right? We will have learned nothing. So be it. You're rambling and we don't care. What do you even believe in then if you volunteer but don't even care about your kind? You disappoint me. If we don't overcome our own struggles, life is worthless. So that's the reason I chose her ending in the first place, because she was the most interesting and the one that sort of appealed to me most. Oh, there was a there was a hydrate there. Sorry. Thank you. Please don't do this. You'll only get killed. What are you proposing exactly? Do you have an alternative, a master plan, anything at all? ... Hey, Abe, we'll be fine. There's no more reason for you to be here. You did all you could. I'm sorry I asked you to come here. Please just go with Eldridge and leave this place. But why leave? Come on, kid. Credit me with some intelligence. It's futile. You know it is. I'm really sorry. Don't worry about it. I know you always had good intentions. Is this going to be on the test? I don't even know how you'd build a test. I couldn't build one, that's for sure. I have no idea. Ha 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 ha. Nothing, I guess. It's not like it would make any difference. You do what you have to do, kid. I will. Thank you for everything you've done for me. Sorry it wasn't as much as I should have, but you're welcome. Thank you too for being there. ... Hey kid, Dybowski, I still have no idea why you came here, but well, I hope you find what you're looking for. Miyazawa, it's been a pleasure. Doctor, guess it's all up to me now. I need to think about all of this first. Consider your options. I'm living with Eldridge while I'm still alive. Really? You came all this way just to run away now? Yes. Well, I shouldn't judge. It's your choice. You people are all crazy. Miyazawa, are you sure this is what you want? Unlike you, I'm perfectly happy to live and die the way that I am. I know better than to misguide my contempt towards my own kind instead of a real threat. You must understand, if I ever thought we were deserving of such hatred, I would never fight for our future in the first place. Despite our many flaws, we're still worth saving, but we can't do it alone, not this time. In reality, you're just abandoning us. No, it's you who's clinging to an obsolete vision. This is our purpose. A stupid one. Oh my god. I haven't stopped to breathe in like 10 minutes because my brain, like, this is our purpose, says the doctor, and the other doctor, the best comeback that this doctor can come up with, a stupid one. Then this is goodbye. Good luck, Miyazawa. I mean it. I wish I could believe in your utopia. You will never learn. Okay, Eldridge, where the hell are you? These people are crazy. Eldridge, he actually went off this pink thing before. We'll try and get to the end. I have to leave in like I have to go in like 3 minutes. But I hope you've all enjoyed this. Remember when they stood around breathing some kind of toxic gas, and the only person to leave was the guy in the hazmat suit? That was a classic moment. That was yep. Yeah. Sorry if I did run through that dialogue too fast. Trust me, it doesn't make any more sense in isolation than in reading it slowly. Maybe I will try this again. Uh, I'll try this. I could play it again once more next week because it's at least entertaining. Is Eldritch here? I don't know where he is. Can I just get back on my boat? No. What? What? Eldridge, where's your boat? Don't leave without me. He played Iron Lung. It does the freaky, fleshy, lonely space thing really well. Yeah, I haven't played that actually, but I would. I've heard many, many good things about it and watched gameplay of it. It certainly looks really compelling. There's the doctor. Has Eldridge already left? I wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me. Okay. This is just absurd. All right. I'm gonna head off. Um, basically, if you go with the Ngugi ending, you both wade into the water, drown yourselves for no reason that I can truly ascertain, and then in the final cutscene, you transform into giant fleshy flowers. So thank you, everyone. I hope that really sums it up. And I'll just end that inexplicably. Thank you to my patrons, Future Cityscape and Frankaloons, and thanks everyone. It's been a ride today. It's been it's it's been a ride. I appreciate you all. Stay safe. Really wonderful. And yeah, we'll just highlight that Kojima fell off. To be honest, we'll end that there. I think. Thank you.